Hey there, fellow sports gamblers. It's Steel Picks for you with the 5 best NBA playoff prize picks and underdog free picks for today, May 11th. Before we get into today's picks, let's get into what happened to us yesterday. And fellow sports gamblers, I'm not going to beat around the bush. I'm not going to lie to you. I was not happy about the way things transpired. It was a lot of weird stuff that happened. I'm a professional gambler. I've been doing this for 30 plus years, so I know that these things happen. But goodness gracious, I just wasn't happy about the way things transpired, and I just want to express it to you. Hopefully you understand where I'm coming from. Didn't want to give you any bad information. I feel responsible as always. No excuses, no explanations. The standard is the standard, and what I say I believe is the gospel. But God damn it, there were some weird things that happened in the wagers that we had for yesterday. First up, we had Karl Anthony Towns, who had 4 first quarter rebounds. Now, fellow gamblers, I watched this game. And there were 2 rebounds, I swear to goodness, hit at least 2 other people's hands. I don't understand how they're calculating what a rebound is. I thought a rebound was someone missed a shot, you were the first person to grab it, and that's a rebound. But apparently no. Apparently it can hit someone else's hand and then someone else's hand, and you'll still get credit for the rebound. So again, no excuses, no explanations. The standard is the standard, and Karl Anthony Towns was over the 2.5 first quarter rebounds we said he'd go under, but I just don't know. I don't feel good about it. Next up, we have Jalen Brunson, who did his thing. 14 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists in the first half to go over the 18.5 points, rebounds, and assists that we said he'd go over. But again, an anomaly from that same game. Joel Embiid was masterful. 8 for 8 from the field, 24 points. However, the Philadelphia 76ers were down by 41 points going into the fourth quarter, waved the white flag, pulled all of their starters, and he never saw the court again, meaning that he went under the 16.5 field goal attempts we said he'd go over. Next up, we had Victor Wembanyama under 18.5 field goal attempts, which he most certainly did, except for the reason that he did that is because he elbowed Naz Reid in the face really, really hard and got kicked out of the game and was no longer a factor in that. So I'm just going to say that's a lucky break for us with regards to that. But on the flip side, what that meant was Dylan Harper had a huge game. 22 points, 5 assists, 3 rebounds to go over the 14.5 points and rebounds that we said he'd go over. Most notably because Victor Wembanyama got kicked out of the game. I am just going to say that's a cause and effect. And is that my fault? Is that our fault? Fellow sports gamblers, I don't know. It's one of those times where I just have to look back and try and have some resolve. And again, being a professional, having done this for quite some time, 30 plus years, I do have a few golden rules that I try to live by. One is just because you know what's supposed to happen doesn't mean that it's going to happen. And just because what you said was going to happen didn't happen doesn't mean you don't know what you're talking about. Now, giving these picks to to all of you fellow sports gamblers in the world, you feel a little bit of pressure sometimes to deliver everything perfect. And I know that the sports world is not perfect. I've been doing this a long, long time. And sometimes things just don't go your way. And my apologies for venting a little bit, but it was a weird day. And I just want to express to you that it's not for lack of effort. It's not for lack of preparation. It's just sometimes weird things happen. Hopefully you're still riding with me and understand that, hey, sometimes cause and effect is not the ultimate thing. This gambling thing is not a mathematical equation. It is not an if-then statement. It is not a y equals mx plus b kind of thing. It's sports. Things happen. But hey, let's regroup and see if we can't get an immaculate ticket for today. And spoiler alert, I'm going to be very short and brief with regards to what is going on because I think that the stats and analytics speak for themselves. But let's get into it real quick. First up, we have D Wade over a three-pointer. Now, as we look at the stats and analytics, he has made at least one three-pointer in every single game that he has played in the playoffs. And as a matter of fact, in 2 of the games, he hit 2 3-pointers. He has been playing plenty of minutes, although his minutes have been diminished. He is still playing a lot of minutes. And as you look at the three-point attempts, those haven't gone anywhere. Obviously, the high water marks being in game 4 and 5 of the Toronto series. 5 and 6 of the Toronto series. He shot 6 times. And then in games 2 and 3 against Detroit, 4 and 2. But as you can see, he's been shooting a pretty good percentage from the three-point range, 34%, and has not made a three-point shot in any of the playoff games. I'm going to leave it at that. We're going to roll on. Next up, Tobias Harris over 24.5 points and rebounds. Game 1, he did not go over 24.5 points and rebounds. Every other game in the playoffs, including all 3 of the games in the Cleveland series, he has gone over that mark. And in addition, in one of the games, he went over that mark in points alone. And in 1, 2 of those games, 23 points by themselves. And in all the games, except for game 1 and 2 against Orlando, he's had at least 20 points. Why won't he do it again? Can't think of a reason that he won't. I'm just going to be stubborn about this. Let's see about his minutes. Yeah, he's logging quite a few minutes. 37.9 in game 3 against Cleveland on the road, 37 in game 2, 39 in game 1. So they're certainly looking to him. And again, remember, he has become the Detroit Pistons' second best offensive weapon after Cade Cunningham. So I believe he's going to continue to do the same thing. And as you can see, a Prizepicks likes this as well at the minus 119. Next up, his teammate, Jalen Duren, under 24.5 points and rebounds. There has only been one game in the playoffs that he has been over this mark. And that was game 7 against Orlando at home, where he went for 15 and 15. None of the games on the road, only the one game on the road at Cleveland he hasn't been able to do that. So the Cleveland on the road game, 11 and 4. The 2 games, the other games, 10 and 8, and then 11 and 12. Those are cool, but hey, man, he has not gotten over this 24.5 points and rebounds only one time in any of the playoff games. Why would we think he's going to do that in the next game? Don't think so. Cleveland is certainly playing with a sense of desperation. They know that if they go back down 1-3, the series is basically over. Probably will never come back to Cleveland. But if they go back 2-2, it has to come back to Cleveland. So they're going to be playing there all out. And in addition, you saw what Jared Allen did to us last time. Was playing well above his skis. Evan Mobley, the same thing. If they continue to do so and get Jalen Duren in foul trouble, that could be a problem. And again, the 24.5 points of rebounds, a little bit high, and hasn't done that in the entire playoffs, only one time. And as we look at his minutes, they have been diminishing, mostly because of foul trouble and a little bit because of ineffectiveness, but I think mostly because of foul trouble. We look at his field goal attempts. They have also been going down, 7 in game 2 and then again up to 8 in game 3. Shooting fairly decent game 3, game 2, 2 for 7 from the field. Goodness gracious. So not necessarily a factor from that standpoint. getting to the free throw line. He's had a few moments of 6 times going to the line. That was in game 7 against Orlando and game 2 at home. But on the road, not so much. 1 for 2 from the free throw line. So not really expecting that from him. And again, let's keep this short and sweet, and let's just stick with the stats and analytics. He's only done this 1 time during the playoffs. Not going to see a reason that he's going to do that in this next game, especially considering that Cleveland wants to go back to Detroit 2-2 all tied up. You can see that Prizepicks likes that at the -119 for the under 24.5. And that's a friendly reminder, when you sign up to BETR using my promo code WINCASH, you'll receive 2 anytime tokens worth up to $100 each. And when you sign up to Novig using my STEELEWINS promo code and spend $5, you will get a $50 bonus. Just more money for you to use with regards to using or making these prop bets and making more money. Good luck to everyone. Next up, we have Austin Reeves, under 26.5 points and rebounds. Now, as we can see in the playoffs, he's only been able to go over that 1 time. Huge game in game 2 at Oklahoma City, 31 points, 2 assists. That was awesome. But the last game at home, 17 points, 3 rebounds, not so great. And if we look at his games during the playoffs, has only gone over 4 rebounds 1 time. And that was in game 1. Game 5 against Houston. He had the 4 rebounds. That was cool. But not really crashing the boards. Not exactly Mr. Windex. Has never really been his calling card. And with regards to points, has only gone over 21 time in the playoffs. 15 in game 6 against Houston. Game 1, 8 points. The explosion in game 2, and then game 3 at home, only 17 points. So where's this all going to come from? I don't think it's going to come from anywhere. I think that Austin Reeves will have a great scoring night, but I don't think that he's going to be crashing the boards. And the under the 26.5 points and rebounds looks very favorable. And as you can see, Novig likes it as well, as they have him at the -111. And last but not least, his running mate, Rui Hachimura, over 18.5 points and rebounds. Now you can see that he has done this in the last 4 games, and every game against the Oklahoma City Thunder, whether it was away or at home. And in addition, in game 3, he went over it with points alone. Has not necessarily been crashing the boards really, really hard. Obviously, only 2 rebounds in game 1. 4 in game 2, 5 in game 3, but that was the game where we also had the 21 points. His 3-point shooting has been spectacular. The Lakers are down 0-3. They're at the crypto arena. We don't know what's going to happen to LeBron in the future. So we know that they want to save pride. This is the winningest franchise in the history of the National Basketball Association. So they certainly don't want to get swept out of the playoffs. And I think that Rui Hachimura is going to be a big factor with regard to making sure that that doesn't happen. So, to recap, we have Dean Wade over a 3-pointer. Tobias Harris over 24.5 points and rebounds. Jalen Duren under 24.5 points and rebounds. Austin Reeves under 26.5 points and rebounds. And Rui Hachimura over 18.5 points and rebounds. And in addition, my 3-leg player prop parlay is Dean Wade over a half a 3-pointer, Tobias Harris over 24.5 points and rebounds, and Jalen Duren under 24.5 points and rebounds. That's the 5 picks I have for you today. Please be sure to like and subscribe to the Still Picks for You channel, and good luck, everyone.